and gentlemen, stage one, welcome back. So if you are joining us, we're going to speak about how to expand the Saudi cuisine globally, the opportunities and challenges behind it. So we are very pleased today because this session will really explore the evolution and international impact of Saudi cuisine, as well the efforts in driving its global recognition. And for that, we are very honored to have some speakers with us to give us their insights on the topic. So please join me in welcoming Mohammed Al-Basha and Yasser Jad. Please join us. Hello Yasser, see you again. It's good. It's good to be back. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining, so we're going to speak about how to expand Saudi cuisine globally. And we were supposed also to have Hadil Al-Mutawa with us, but I think she's busy, taken up somewhere, and she will be probably joining us. But we are free, so I think this is a nice crowd too. So let's start. Maybe Mohammed, with you, your experience in the US, how did it really shape your approach to culinary excellence and innovation in Saudi? Tell us more.
My name is Mohammed. I learn usually in United States, and I took that opportunity to grow as a chef, and that should definitely shape my character, my skills. And then I get back to Saudi Arabia, hometown, and I'm very proud to be here in Saudi and to give what I learned through the experience in the United States and then bring it to Saudi Arabia. And definitely been almost for 3-4 years now. I see a lot of development. Thank you for Saudi Culture Mission and all the initiatives that have been provided by Saudi government to support Saudi hospitality. And definitely we see a lot of chefs, rising chefs, and rising stars in Saudi Arabia, and that's make us very happy and looking forward to compete and internationally and locally as well to expand that experience.
And I didn't say it, but today you are working at the Ritz-Carlton Palace here.
Yes.
And you will have time to tell us a little bit about what you're doing there also. And Yasser, so Yasser, hello again. It's good to see you.
Very nice to be again and again.
I mean, I'm happy to have you, but maybe for people who are here who don't know you, just Yasser, you're the advisor for the Royal Commission for Riyadh City and the president of the Saudi Arabia Chef Association. So just some brief introduction. And tell us about how has your experience in in-flight catering influenced your approach to culinary arts in Saudi, for example?
Yes, thank you very much. Actually, to be a chef, you have to be very patient. And to succeed, you have to put treble patient and treble from everything in order to survive and deliver according to certain KPI, let's say, because it's not just about cooking; it's about the result, and
Absolutely.
about to be very sustainable and very perfect, and very special in terms of taking care of your team, your organization, your the whole story. So being working many years in this field, particularly in massive operation with a massive number of people, it's really wise to think again if I have time to go back and work with the same. Yes, to be very passionate in your work is really important because that is the fuel and the energy to keep on going the tough life. Chef life now it become very fancy and very flowery by the social media, but I'm not saying it's really a nightmare, but it's not an easy life.
It's funny you're saying that because we just had the Bocuse d'Or chefs just before you guys, and this is exactly the same thing. They were saying the same thing.
It's more,
it's lots of discipline.
Every time you cook, every time you sit in front of your facility, you suffer and you try to manage, and every piece of meat have different reaction. So it's not an easy life, but the passion is the fuel to keep you on going. So yes, lovely word, but it's tough word. The beauty of this cycle very short. In very quick round, you get delivers and things reflect with cash and with happiness, and that is the rewarding for the chef life. I guess I described a little bit. But I think it will tell.
Thank you for sharing that. And if we come back to the topic of the discussion, is really how to expand the Saudi cuisine, make it more recognized globally, which is interesting and challenging. Maybe Mohammed, you could tell us a little bit of how you're doing this in your work, using high quality, locally sourced ingredients, and all of that play a role in opening the Saudi flavors and cuisine to the world.
Actually, today we notice a lot of rising chefs. I would say 2 points here. We have the local heritage and culture of Saudi cuisine. That's one. And second, there is the modernization of Saudi cuisine, where you see the new chefs and rising chefs using new techniques and local ingredients just to introduce the Saudi cuisine in different ways. And then on the other side, we have the authentic Saudi cuisine, where it's the original flavors from different segmentation from Al-Hijaz to Najd, and then we have the south area, Jazan, and then we have east side. So we have a lot of multicultural in Saudi Arabia, different flavors, and that's where we come originality, where we see the old style and techniques, and this is where we have to keep our roots and authenticity of Saudi cuisine. And then we have the new generation and the rising star chefs, where they provide the Saudi cuisine and they present it in different ways, where we see the techniques from all around the world. And then yet you have some chefs who presented Saudi cuisine even outside Saudi Arabia. They do internationally. You see them, they present now in France, you see them in Europe and in America, and different cultures, where it makes you feel very thrilled. That wasn't available, I would say, 10, 12 years ago.
Absolutely,
It was very odd to be a chef, and then nobody accept that. And yet today, you see everybody has that passion.
It's a different picture.
It's a different pictures. And definitely, we love to be in this world. Definitely, we always looks for new ingredients and new flavors, just to have our Saudi cuisine alive, and then we have to take this to second level and present it to the world.
Fantastic. And this is very good because it leads me to a nice transition to my next question, which is really, it's both of you, what are the key strategies that you're using today to promote Saudi cuisine nationally, locally here, and internationally? Do you have like some specific techniques? Maybe, yes, sir.
It's not just about the technique. It's education. I mean, to learn properly from well-recognized entity, giving a proper education on skill. It's really important to start. And investing on the chef, particularly young chefs. If you target them to go to the transformation through the transformation process, which Saudi Arabia going on, that means they have to go to a massive education, intensive partnership program, and then start with good managers and executive chefs in good hotel, where they can be drive in a proper way to lead the business. So it's not just technique, more than a concept, a whole concept. Because if they get education and they don't have a good supervision in their hotels or their works, they might get frustrated,
right,
and they might not survive longer. Because I mean, the SPAC, we need them, and they are very important to make the transmission and transformation. But the young chefs in the kitchen, they have to be taken care with certain attention in order to grow properly and taking over gradually and professionally. And it's not just to leave them like that and without, so they might not. A lot of chefs, they go for education, they come back, couple of months, they run from the kitchen. Because again, it's not an easy life. It's really tough life and daily hard work. So they have to be taken in consideration in order to to take in.
Of course. Thank you for sharing the Yasser. Mohammed, do you agree? I mean, we were speaking about strategies put in place, but then Yasser speaking about education. It's not just about those techniques and strategies. Would you agree?
With this being said, with what Chef Yasser said, I would say present in Saudi cuisine, consider one of the soft skills right now, and or soft powers. Now we see a lot of initiatives from the government itself. That's what supports as well Vision 2030.
Yeah, they're very
you
proactive
see a
here.
lot of supported for the Saudi chef to present Saudi Arabia globally, and a lot of international events. We've seen a lot of chefs present in Saudi Arabia and there, and in Berlin and Paris and in Europe in general. And that's give us again the pleasure to see the Saudi cuisine outside. Yes, it's challenging
Of
to
course.
show what we have, but now with all the initiatives from governments and all the dedication from the governments, we see the great picture. We see Saudi cuisine and everywhere now. And this is definitely one of the initiatives that I hope it would be continued, and definitely will be continued, to have that Saudi cuisine internationally, and moreover, presenting that in the old way and that a new way to match the international visions, and to see
Right.
where we taking this to second level.
Now we're talking about the projects. I mean, I know the government here is very proactive, but then what would you say? Is there like some kind of Saudi dish that have impacted the perception of Saudi cuisine locally, internationally, or any dish that you think?
Jarish.
No, actually,
Everybody keeps saying that. I
No,
need
no.
to taste it.
no, really, we are very. I'm not saying we are very hospitable, very generous, but the culture focus a lot on lamb in Saudi Arabia.
Ah.
Lamb, the hero of everything. And in the coast part, like the western part, the eastern part, they have the seafood. But still, lamb is the main dish, whether you put it with rice, whether we
Yeah.
put it with different rice, definitely, always rice. Not so, Jarish, yes, registered in the UNICEF as a national dish, but because the wheat itself from the earth, but the other, like the rice is just 100 years ago, we don't have rice in Saudi Arabia, but now we are leading rice cuisine in the world actually. So, but just one thing to tell you, that either the new generation, they get adapt with the changes and with twisting the cuisine to another part of the world, or whether adding something to our presentation or our dishing, let's say dishing,
Right.
how we eat. It's really changed. It's not like before. Every time you go to party, you have whole lamp.
Yeah.
No, things
It's-
get changed.
Yeah.
People now thinking of sustainability, of saving the earth and saving the cost,
Yes.
and halal, haram also. It's really another factor to be considered. So behavior get changed, and gastronomy also get changed. 10 years ago, where that generation still now with us, I'm one of them, people, they are not mature of the whole Saudi Arabia cuisine. Now, if you see, with the effort from Culinary Art Commission, they done so much effort to announce, the gastronomy in Saudi Arabia, different area. We have 13 area dividing Saudi Arabia to different areas. So they announced that different dishes, and they link different dishes to different ingredients, and that is really kind of being proud of our cuisine, because
Right.
the board of Saudi Arabia is massive also. That you have every board have relation with their cuisine, like Egyptian board with Mecca, Medina, have infusion Egyptian dishes, and from the east part we have from India, and from the north we have from
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally huge. So cuisine is Saudi cuisine quite huge in terms of variety.
Absolutely, and this is a little bit what you're doing at the Ritz-Carlton. Maybe tell us about your work a little bit, how you are promoting the.
We have a huge operation. We have almost 500 rooms, so our operation is very huge. And definitely one of our visions and goals, definitely to implement the Saudi cuisine and our dishes in many ways. Definitely we use some international techniques, some Saudi locals cuisines, and those techniques as well, we try to implement them in different ways. So we have the local chefs where they have the originality taste, and then this is something we try as much to keep it authentic. And then we have the new generation, where is the rising stars who learn about cooking outside Saudi Arabia, and then they come to Saudi Arabia and they bring the culture where they definitely learn. And I'm really sure in every culture there is a mix of flavors that definitely you will find it in Saudi cuisine. As Chef Yasser said, if you look in east side, you will find influence of Indian culture. If you look on the west side, you find different culture definitely impact on the Saudi cuisine. However, we use that to definitely as a strength to definitely
Of course.
develop the Saudi cuisine, because in the future it will be whatever we eat now is will be our different generation food. So definitely we keep our roots and heritage on that Saudi cuisine, and then yet we take it to second level where introduce a new flavors that we grow up on, and then
Absolutely.
in the future it will be the next Saudi
But
cuisine.
this is interesting what you're saying. Do you see challenges that in blending traditional Saudi flavors with like very innovative techniques, contemporary culinary trends? You know, how do you keep up with that?
I give you an example. In our cuisine, we believe so much in single original, like single original coffee, like the meat. The lamb in Riyadh, in Najd, they like naimi. In Jeddah, Mecca, Western part, we like hari. And if you buy your lamb, you want to make sure this type, because the end dish has to be according to what you want. It's like wagi or a certain grade of steak. It's the same in our culture. Honey is the same. And either the wheat, to make your jarish, you have to select certain source. And that's show you how simple the cuisine. It's not too many ingredients and original ingredient, and let's say less herbs, not too much spices in Saudi cuisine. That's why we focus a lot on the ingredient. The type you can see in Saudi Arabia, all the long grain and high quality rice compared to maybe India, the original. You cannot find in the retail the same quality of rice like what we have here, because I mean the level of understanding is really very high for people that they want this type of grain for this type of rice with this type of fat in their lamb,
Interesting.
or in the honey, or the marach part of the leaves that from the asir where they need it for mandi, for example. I tell you, so those ingredients very important to be maintained either for the new generation to learn, but you can twist, you can adjust in the presentation wherever, but they have to maintain the authenticity of the dish by keeping the flavor.
All right. We have 2 minutes left. Maybe I want your reaction on the same question. So, is it challenging to balance?
It's a bit challenging, I would say. A lot of people, they like to keep the originality, yet it's our responsible and duties as a chef to definitely represent the Saudi cuisine the way we see it's. We'll take it to second generation, yet we have to keep the identity of our cuisine, because
Absolutely.
this is going to generations. But again, this is our time to present to new things to the new generation. A lot of people conservative about the old food and the way they cook it, the way they present it. Definitely we respect that, but again, we have to be very innovative, very open mind, because now we have a lot of resources of food, and yet to keep that identity, we have to be innovative with our food. So that's definitely will take us to something different in the future.
So you were speaking about the lamb dishes, which are very famous here, traditional. But are there other trends in the Saudi cuisines that are gaining traction more internationally, that you see that this is really spreading and in the right direction, or more successful? And also in the reception of your clients, for example, at the Ritz or Yasser, what you are seeing, how do the international crowd receive, the...
I give you experience. We done it in Expo 2030 in Paris. We done the reception dinner before the announcement. And that the menu was like 18 dish, 18 item has to be served, passed around for the reception dinner. And this item has to be taste Saudi, but in twist or uplift to an international French way.
Yeah.
Because it was announced in Paris.
Ah.
So it was so much effort. We were 7 team with me, and we work almost 10 days ahead of time to practice and to adjust the kitchen to deliver this
Right.
kind of reception dinner for the niche level. Include the
It's lots of work.
a lot of work and a lot of VVIP guests, and they were expecting a lot. And really, I was so surprised. I do my best with my team to take our simple food to another level, but it worked really. And the beauty that you see, wow, this is so tasty. It was just
Yeah.
a piece of meat with a small bitty cup, like to carry it, and we put this twist of bunch of honey. So
It worked.
sometimes still the meat was so tender and so tasty, and that this is an example that we reach to a global community,
Brilliant.
diplomatic group where they appreciate the simplicity and the way of
Super.
eating kind of niche presentation. So I am with Muhammad. Yes,
Yes.
we have to deliver to the next generation something that they have to maintain the quality, the ingredient, the flavor, but do wherever they're in there to present it, to add,
Absolutely.
without affecting it.
Yeah. Mohammed, final words to you. So the reception is good?
Definitely, we have a lot of delegation from different countries, different culture, and some of them are very interested in Saudi cuisine, and a lot they look for Saudi cuisine, and definitely it's our job to deliver that Saudi flavors, and a lot of delegation they love that perception of Saudi cuisine, definitely.
Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Mohammed Al Abasha and Yasser Jad. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.